Perfect time to do a Merlin video. We have his Storm Relic in the event shop, and we have his Flame Relic on sale for $49.99. Is it worth spending that kind of money to get his relics? The one in the shop is free, the event shop, but it does cost quite a bit of stamina, so I don't know if you really consider that free or not. It's really the least liked relic for me. Come and join the 3,200 supporters over at the Netmarble website. Pick me as your content creator and I will send you 200 stamina this month. Details are down below. Here is his Storm Relic. We get a chance to get additional crit rate and additional critical damage, and then we get this buff on us, Pain Connection, which would be better if it stopped us from getting abnormal status effects. You know, stun, slept, all the things you're about to see right there. Look at that stun. We still got stunned, but she also stunned the two bears. So that's pretty interesting, but not that great since we're also getting stunned. Now we're doing a skill 3, Confusion. We just confused that bear. It attacked its master. We're going to do it again. We've got a Silence and Confusion. That skill 3 is pretty great to do Confusion and Silence, probably in a PvP setting. Flame Merlin skill 2 puts up a debuff called Phoenix Ashes, but there's only 3 charges on it. It will heal anybody that attacks the enemy by 20% of their max HP. It's got a chance to give you 20% additional attack for a turn, and then a 90% chance to increase your attack gauge by 30%. But with only 3 charges, only 3 people are going to be healed, and Merlin takes one of those charges immediately. So you're going to see him be healed by 5,000. And now Guinevere is going to go in, and she's going to be healed by somewhere around 5,000. 20% of your max HP is a lot, plus you got that attack gauge increase. Same thing with Morgan. Now, Rosier is attacking, and no heal for her. That's a different heal that you just saw, but no big 5,000 heal. So it's very difficult to keep your team alive trying to bring him in as your main healer. You wouldn't be able to do that because it's only going to heal 3 people. Even if you have it for 2 turns, and unfortunately, I only have it for a 1 turn. So if you really want to play Flame Merlin, he's good, really good with that skill 2 to heal people, give you 20% additional attack plus the attack gauge increase. But it's only affecting 3 people, himself and 2 other people that attack, until he reapplies it. So you need to bring in another healer. He's kind of like a little low DPSer or decent DPS. Actually, the skill 2 does pretty good, along with giving you some heals, giving you an attack gauge increase on 3 people, you know, himself and 2 others, and then the attack, the 20% additional attack. So Flame Merlin, I feel like, is pretty nice. But you're not going to use his skill 3. His skill 3 really doesn't look great. This is stage 10, Yasko Hague, and we're trying to stay alive with just doing Sarah's skill 1, which is kind of difficult because some people just are not being healed. Like right now, Sarah's kind of the slowest or really bad in the rotation somehow, and the other 2 are attacking before Sarah does. So they're being healed. Cormac just got a nice heal. And maybe Sarah's going to pick up a heal, I think, on this turn. We're going to beat this, and it would be much easier if we had it skilled out. That skill 2 needs to be skilled out for 2 turns. The big issue we're having here is the dragon's too fast, and for a 1-turn debuff, it's falling off. So the dragon takes a turn, and even if we have additional charges, where, you know, Merlin's healing himself, 2 other people could heal themselves, but the dragon's going too fast, and it's dropping off, and they're not having a chance to heal themselves. So we would have a way smoother run if we had that for 2-turn debuff. We just need more skill books. Here's his base Frost Relic. We cast Frozen Remains, a debuff on the enemy, just like we were doing with the Flame spec, except we get dot immunity. We get a buff on ourselves to where we take 20% less damage, and we have a 90% chance to get that 30% additional turn meter. Still, only 3 charges, so it affects Merlin right away, and then 2 other people that attack it next get this damage taken less 20%, and they get a chance to get 30% additional attack gauge and then dot immunity. Skill 3 on the Frost Relic is really nice if you get that 20% additional chance to freeze. That's a 55% chance to freeze all enemies, so that's fun to spam. Frozen Remains is okay with the dot immunity plus the attack gauge increase. I used to use Merlin when I first started playing, but now at Endgame, I haven't used Merlin in a really long time. I just don't have a use for him. We only have a 4-man team. I just don't have anywhere to put him as a new player, and I had the Flame Merlin with Phoenix Ashes. Having him do the 200% attack if you have it maxed out, if you definitely have 2 turns on the Phoenix Ash, it's going to help your team. It's going to help you progress. He's got 4 hits on this, so it's good in Pinvid. It's going to be good pretty much everywhere because that's a lot of healing. You put him in a vigor set with an accuracy set along with another healer to heal your team, and then you have Morgan and a DPS. That should be really easy. You're not going to use this skill 3. I don't see a lot of uses for a skill 3 that does no damage, just gives you a critical strike damage increase, debuff immunity, along with attack gauge disruption on the enemy. The base Frost Relic, like I said, I did use it, but I don't think it really gave me a benefit for anything except for Gorgos, and then it only affected 3 people, himself plus 2 others. That's why I made that video on the 3-man team to beat Gorgos with Merlin. Outside of that, I just never used him again. The Storm Relic skill 2 to give you critical damage increase, crit rate increase, and then pain connection isn't really worth it to me, especially since you still get abnormal status effect on yourself, and then you just kind of reflect it back to whoever put it on you. You can't reflect it back to bosses. You could do this in PvP, but then you would still be stunned or frozen. Just that one person would be as well. I don't think it's that great. You get the additional critical damage, you get the additional crit strike. You're still attacking. I mean, it's not terrible, but I think there are other lot better heroes that do other abilities that would be better for any kind of situation. The skill 3 is nice. You get a 40% chance to confuse, a 50% chance to silence. Confusion for 2 turns could come in really handy if the enemy attacks their own. And the silence is nice because then they can only do their first ability. They can't do any of their hard-hitting abilities. I still don't feel like there's a use for Merlin. Even on my free-to-play or on my paid account, where would I use him? I just don't have a place for him. His Flame Relic does seem like the best one to get that skill 2, to get those heals in there, 20% additional attack, along with a turn meter increase for 3 of our heroes. The Frost AoE, 55% chance to freeze, is really good going through Forbidden Dungeon. It's really fun in PvP. Do you guys really think Merlin is top tier? When we do our skill 3, we can get some really good buffs. He's the only guy that can revive people, but even with all of that, do you really think he's way up there in the tier list? As always, thanks for watching, everyone. I appreciate your time, your love, and your support, and I will see you all in a video soon.